St Helena Bay F1 Powerboat Water Festival is proudly brought to you by Dixon Premium Batteries. Power is in our name. Welcome from me, Brendan Kelly, to St Helena Bay, where the locals from the surrounding areas were treated to a weekend full of activities. Lots and lots on offer as the crowd started to gather in anticipation the first coastal race in many, many years. Executive Mayor Andre Truter opened proceedings.
It's been a long time coming, and I just want to say congratulations to the team from St Helena Bay that have really stretched out and has created an amazing event for us. For me as Executive Mayor, it is an extreme honor to see these economic activities happening. So have a drink, have fun, but just act responsibly and enjoy yourself. Thank you very much.
Straight into the action of time trials we go, in the first boat out on the water, boat number 13, with the legendary Bruce Repsold behind the wheel of that boat. He managed a time of 29.87, racing in the colours of Feltdrift Marine Services. Next out on the water would be the number 32 boat of Ronan Dixon, and this boat brand spanking new, imported from Italy, built by the legendary Guido Cappellini, and Ronan Dixon going around in a blisteringly quick time of 24.71 seconds, which would secure him pole position for the Grand Prix. Next up would be teammate Keegan Frankovitz in the number 58 Dixon battery boat. His time of 25.20 would see him starting in second place on the grid. Racing in the colours of Boaters World, it's the 46th entry of Nico Wessels, the man who made the switch from hard bottom racing to Formula One. You'll notice there that he races without the canopy on his boat, securing a time of 33.84, which gives him 6th on the grid for the Grand Prix. Next out would be the man who is instrumental in putting this event together, the 111 entry, Mornay Herald, racing in the colours of Feltdrift Marine, going around the circuit in a best time of 27.51, which puts him 3rd on the grid. Boat number 101, Michael Wessels in the cateracing.com entry, an ex-Cordwell Marine boat that once took part in the World Series with an inboard motor, securing a time of 33.84, leaving him 7th on the grid. In the second of the ex-Caldwell Marine boats, it's the 99 entry of John Ross Duncan, the man whose family have been around powerboat racing for many, many years. And John Ross securing a time of 31.84, which puts him 5th on the grid for the lineup of the Grand Prix.
We managed to secure pole position today. We're very chuffed with the results, being a new boat and after all the testing we've done down here in Cape Town. And we are ecstatic for the race coming up now.
So qualifying went good. We came second, so looking forward to the race. Just want to, maintain the position.
So we had a qualifying this morning, where we qualified 3rd, just behind Keegan Frankovitz.
At the end of the time trials, this is what the results looked like. The Saturday morning crowds had started to pour in, and it was the turn of the development boats to go out onto the water. These little mouse boats developed in Disneyland gives an opportunity for youngsters to get a taste of what powerboat racing is all about. Mornay Herald and his team had done a fantastic job in coaching the youngsters over the weekends leading up to this event. What a fantastic opportunity it is for these youngsters to get involved in powerboat racing, and we will follow their progress in the sport in the following months. Congratulations to all of the youngsters. Rick and Zarin coming out on top. Early drama in the hard bottom class, where the number 17 boat of Cahill Kutsia caught light, but luckily fire extinguisher close at hand to put it out and then go racing. We are going under starters orders as the 5 hard bottoms line up behind our start boat and flags down. Away we go, and immediately out into the front it is Leon Harold that leads. Around the first turn buoy we go with Harold in the leads. On the outside it is the number 11 boat of Rowan Brits applying lots of pressure. Kyle Otto in the number 5, followed by the 55 boat of Gene Jones. Down the back straight they go, and it's still Kutsia with the advantage over Harold. Harold doing all the hard slog around the outside. He has to go. Kutsia just glances over his shoulder to see where Harold is as they head down the front straight now. Once again checking over his shoulders. Still in contention, the number 5 boat of Kyle Otto, negotiating yet another of the tight turn buoys with Rowan Brits just behind him. Gene Jones was having a good outing in the 55 boat. Onto the last lap of the race we go. Water conditions had roughened up a bit, but having no problems out in front. It's the number 7 boat of Leon Harold, having got ahead of Cahill Kutsia, acknowledges the checkered flag and comes through to take the race win. Harold would go on to take the second heat as well. The action moves straight on to heat number 3 now, and Rowan Brits, the early leader. The water conditions having got a lot choppier. The boats negotiating the top side of the circuit and now heading down the back straight. Look at Cahill Kutsia in the number 17 boat, just blowing it past the number 11 of Rowan Brits, and into the lead he goes. Around the turn buoy for the last time for our race leader, going through to take the race win. That's the number 17 boat of Cahill Kutsia. He'd be followed home by boat number 11, Rowan Brits, with Leon Harold charging hard to 3rd place in the number 7 boat. Kyle Otto in boat number 5 would end up in 4th place in heat number 3. Straight on to the start of heat number 4 we go, and green flag down we go racing. You'll notice that the wind has picked up and water conditions have certainly started to worsen. Leon Harold immediately stamping his authority on the race once again, but watch Gene Jones in the number 55 boat making the best of the difficult conditions, lying in 2nd place. Side by side they come to negotiate the top side of the circuit. That's where the water would be at its roughest, but having no problems out in front. Leon Harold making it look rather easy out there in the choppy conditions. Down the back straight for the last time goes Leon Harold. He will take the heat win. Gene Jones will finish in a credible 2nd place. 3rd will go to Cahill Kutsia, followed by Rowan Brits and Kyle Otto in the smaller number 5 boat, battling with the conditions. This is what the overall standings looked like after 4 heats of racing in the hard bottom class. Coming up after the break, Heat 1 of Formula 1. Onto the Formula 1 action we go, and it is race number 1, flags down and we go racing, and a brilliant start there from Ronan Dixon in the Dixon Batteries entry, boat number 32, absolutely flying out of the blocks. Tucking into 2nd place is his teammate Keegan Frankovitz. They'll be followed around the turn buoy by Mornay Harold in the 111 boat, with his teammate Bruce Repsold running in the number 13 boat, slightly down on power. On board with Ronan Dixon we go around the turn buoys, really getting the boat turned nicely around the turn buoys, but Keegan Frankovitz flying around there in 2nd place, with the Mornay Herald in 3rd, Bruce Repsold still in 4th, and nice and tight around the turn buoy for John Ross Duncan. He'll be followed by the 101 boat of Michael Vessels and Nico Vessels in the 46 machine. Watching Keegan Frankovitz in the 58 boat. This young guy certainly knows how to turn that boat, really carrying lots and lots of speed through the turn, boys. You'll see he gets it down there, gets the nose down, and carrying lots of speed and power through. He's followed by Mornay Herald running in the 111 boat. But try as they may, they couldn't catch Ronan Dixon out in front in the 32 machine. As he gets accustomed to the handling and characteristics of the boat, he will be a force to be reckoned with this season. Over 2,000 spectators that turned out to watch all of the action on the water. Nico Vessels with the open canopy in the 46 machine, going well down in 6th place, with his son Michael in 7th right behind him. Chris Willems, the officer of the day, in the hot seat, the man with the flags, keeping an eye on proceedings on what's happening out on the water. Keegan Frankovits, the current South African champion, going well in the number 58 machine, powers his way down. He has certainly been impressive around the turn, boys. Still holding down 7th place, Michael Wessels going through. But let's watch Ronan Dixon now starting to weave his way through the back markers as he powers his way through in the 32 boat. Let's go on board and enjoy the ride with Ronan Dixon. You'll see the turning capabilities of the brand new 2024 DAC Italian-built boat that Dixon has brought into the country. Bruce Repsold under pressure from John Ross Duncan. As we mentioned earlier, Repsold underpowered in the boat as Ronan Dixon closes up on them. Virtually will lap the entire field up until about 2nd place at this stage. So Ronan Dixon, certainly dominant performance from him in heat number 1. John Ross Duncan in the 99 boat looking rock solid. He's got Nico Wessels just behind him in the 46 boat. As Ronan Dixon continues to weave his way through the traffic, he will lap up to 2nd place in heat number 1. Down the back straight, Dixon just looking so impressive. Once again on board with him, and you'll see the turning capabilities once again of the brand new boat. Massive speed differential that he has got, passing Bruce Repsold. Repsold down on power, as we mentioned earlier. Certainly has been an impressive performance for the first time out for Ronan Dixon in the new DAC. Gets the trim up very quickly and powers his way down the straight. Nico Wessels in the 46 machine comes through now on his inside. Keegan Frankovits in 2nd place goes through to lap him as well. 7th place runner Michael Wessels down the back straight, got the nose up in the air as the wind conditions had started picking up around the outside. You'll see Ronan Dixon once again coming into shot. Then it's Keegan Frankovits running up to the top side of the circuit now, still holding on to 2nd place. As we start running out of laps in heat number 1, Ronan Dixon just continues to stamp his authority on proceedings out on the water, looking completely untouchable. Just watch how he's got that trim set up as he approaches the turn buoy. Nose down very quickly and back up again. Superb driving there from Ronan Dixon in the 32 Dixon battery entry. Mornay Herald has had a good run, still in 3rd place at the moment. He comes through in the 111 machine now, racing in the colours of Velddrift Marine Services. As the white flag comes out to start the last lap of the race, Ronan Dixon acknowledges the flag as he goes through. It has been a faultless performance from Ronan Dixon in the Dixon Batteries entry. About to head down the back straight for the last time. This young man has certainly brought some life to the sleepy hollow of St Helena Bay. He's had the people up on their feet cheering him as he has powered his way around the circuit. Coming through now to take the checkered flag and the heat number 1 win, Ronan Dixon for Dixon Batteries.
We could have asked for a better race today. With the pole position that we secured from the qualifying, we managed to bring it home with the 1st place win in the 1st heat, and we can't wait for the 2nd one.
So we got 2nd place for the race, so it's a great thing for the team.
Yeah, we had a great start, rolling start. Ran 3rd the whole time, caught up to Keegan and then the left traffic he broke away from me, so yeah, we ended up with a 3rd for the day. But we'll push for tomorrow and yeah, definitely chasing for that 2nd place.
This is what the results for heat number 1 looked like. Race commentator Gary Fleming caught up with multiple South African champion and Formula 1 legend Peter Lindenberg.
there's a bit of a science to Formula One or to running a tunnel boat, and it is to get the balance. And you got to understand aerodynamics, in other words, the air flowing over the boat, and then you've got to understand the amount of air coming in under the boat in relation to how much boat's in contact with the water. So you have to understand aerodynamics and hydrodynamics, I believe, to be a really good driver, because there's a relationship. And that's why you see when boats come out the corner, they can pick up the nose really high and then they bring it down. You pick it up to get that air cushion underneath, and then you bring it down because you've got to have the nose of the boat at the right attitude to get the maximum speed. If the nose of the boat's slightly higher, it drags, and sometimes it goes too high. And if it's too low, it pushes down. So you've got to get that fine balance when you're literally flying the boat.
Heat 2 after the break. The Formula One action moved to day 2 of the festival, and the weather starting to turn for the worse as we go racing in Heat 2, and immediately Ronan Dixon out in front once again. Bruce Repsold up there in third place. He seems to be back to where we are used to seeing him running. Mornay Herald in second at the moment, but it's all about Dixon out in front, bringing the boat nice and smoothly through the corner. Mornay Herald in the 111 boat sitting in second, followed by Bruce Repsold. Repsold looking more confident in that boat now. And then Michael Wessels, we see that he's lost his canopy. John Ross Duncan getting some big airtime there. But watching once again the Feltrift Marine boat of Mornay Herald, followed by Bruce Repsold. And then we have got John Ross Duncan clipping the Turnboy. John Ross Duncan running into the Turnboy, and no doubt that will be a race stoppage. But just look at the lead that Ronan Dixon has managed to open up over the rest of the fields at this early stage of the race. Slow-mo action as we join John Ross Duncan going through in Bruce Repsold's spray, and just unfortunately hooking the Turnboy as he went through. Michael Wessels on the outside without his canopy. The rescue personnel were on hand to replace the dislodged Turnboy, and then we'd be good for the restart. We go on board with Ronan Dixon as he waits for the green flag. And the restart, the boats head up to the far side of the circuit once again. Some great onboard footage from the camera mounted on the nose of Ronan Dixon's boat as he negotiates his way around the circuit. Further on down the field, you'll see the bright yellow hull, and that is Keegan Frankovitz, who decided, because of the weather conditions, to rather opt to race his Barber hull instead of the DAC, and having to start at the back of the grid. And no doubt we'll see him making his way through the traffic as all of the boats come through. Michael Wessels with his canopy back on the boat once again. But it is all about Ronan Dixon out in front, negotiating the rough water. Second still Mornay Herald with Bruce Repsold in a close third place. Just in the background you'll see the bright yellow boat starting to make its presence felt as Keegan Frankovitz is on a charge. But once again, red flags come out, and problems there for the 101 boat of Michael Wessels. He's lost his back cowling and his engine cowling as well. So that will probably mean the end of the race for him. Onto the restart we go, and immediately it is Ronan Dixon that powers out in front once again. And just a little bit of a drift through the corners from him, skipping from one of the waves onto the next one. Down the back straight comes the Dixon battery boats once again. Second place, it is Mornay Herald, and he's followed in third by a hard charging Bruce Repsold with John Ross Duncan right behind them. And then Nico Wessels opting to race with the canopy on, gets overtaken by Keegan Frankovitz as he starts making his way through the field. Choppy water at the top side of the circuit once again, but all the boats going through there. Bruce Repsold having to take evasive action to keep the nose of the boat down onto the flatter waters of the inside of the circuit. And Mornay Herald runs very wide. Has it left the door open for Bruce Repsold? Bruce turning a lot tighter around the circuit, as does John Ross Duncan, followed by Keegan Frankovitz. Frankovitz certainly seems to have got to grips with the Barber hull that he's in now, and going incredibly well. Will he be able to catch up to third place? Bruce Repsold starting to run out of laps in the race now. And he's got John Ross Duncan just ahead of him, has Keegan Frankovitz in the second of the Dixon battery boats. sitting in the spray of John Ross Duncan certainly seems to be closing in on him. But our leader out in front, relatively easily out in front. Second place still Mornay Herald with Bruce Repsold in third. Repsold certainly seems to be over the problems that plagued him earlier. Battling with trim and electrical problems was Repsold. Frankovits still charging hard, enjoying the rough water conditions, riding once again in the spray of John Ross Duncan. And through on the inside he goes up into fourth place. It will be for Keegan Frankovits if he can make the move work. He'll have the advantage going into the next turn, boy. And through indeed he goes up into fourth place. Bruce Repsold just ahead of him, followed by Mornay Herald, and then obviously our leader Ronan Dixon. Nico Vessel still going well in the 46 Boaters World entry. Currently in fifth place, but back with our leader out in front again. The 32 boat in the colours of Dixon Batteries. Ronan Dixon had been most impressive. I see that there's yellow flags out, just indicating that there's possibly something floating in the circuit as Ronan Dixon gets off the power and negotiates the rough water once again. Fantastic paint job on the Dixon boat, but it's a commentator's nightmare. It's blue when it's going one direction and then it changes to red in the other direction. But coming through to take the checkered flag and heat number 2 win in front of a massive, enthusiastic crowd, Ronan Dixon wins the St Helena Bay Formula 1 Grand Prix. Here are the results for heat number 2, and unfortunately heat number 3 completely blown out due to the weather.
With a great finish in the second heat, we managed to secure first place again. Unfortunately, the third heat was cancelled due to the weather. It was a great day for us again out on the water, and we can't wait to be back again. And we're looking forward to the next event.
Heat 2 was better for us. After spending the whole day yesterday trying to sort out the trim issues and electrical issues, we got that sorted out. And Heat 2 was pretty good. Getting used to the boat again, rough water, propeller choice wasn't quite right. So we battled, but we'll take it with a smile.
So we chose to go with the Barber for the Heat 2 due to weather conditions. The water and the wind obviously caught us off guard with the DAC, so we moved over to the Barber and had to start from the back of the grid. And from there we pushed our way up through to fifth place, and the trim pump jammed. So we drove with no trim. So
these were the final positions after 2 heats. Let's hear from event organizer Mornay Herald.
I just want to say thank you to St Helena Bay and all the people in the town for supporting us. The mayor was here, all the sponsors. Thank you very much, and we would like to be back next year, and I hope we'll be back next year and make it better and best, bigger than this year. Thanks for all your people's support, and see you next year.
From me, Brendan Kelly, along with producer Daryl Cookard and the Motormouth team, we wish you farewell. We'll catch you at the next race from Rhinefield Dam on the 27th of April. St Helena Bay F1 Powerboat Water Festival was proudly brought to you by Dixon Premium Batteries. Power is in our name.